There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
My gosh.
They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
Look at that thing, dude.
That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not.
That is an LNS, dude.
Well, if there's like...
Look at that thing.
It's rotating.
What you just heard, that was recorded from the cockpit of an F-18 Super Hornet, January 2015, somewhere off the East Coast. The object those pilots were tracking had no wings, no visible exhaust, nothing that looked like, well, like propulsion at all, really. And here's the thing that makes it weird. It was rotating, actually spinning, while flying in a straight line. Try doing that in a conventional aircraft. You can't. The physics don't work. It was also moving against 120-knot winds, as if the air simply wasn't there. The footage stayed classified for years. But this wasn't new, not by a long shot. For decades, actually going back to the 1940s, military pilots who reported things like this faced ridicule, career-ending ridicule. Some were grounded, others were sent for psychiatric evaluations. The message was clear: keep your mouth shut. In 2025, that finally changed. This is why. Let's go back, way back. 1947. Kenneth Arnold, a civilian pilot, reports seeing 9 strange objects near Mount Rainier. The press coins a term, flying saucers. Within weeks, there are hundreds of sightings across the country. Then Roswell happens, whatever Roswell actually was, and suddenly the US military has a problem. Not necessarily an alien problem, a public relations problem. By 1952, the Air Force launches Project Blue Book. Official mission: investigate UFO reports, determine if they pose a threat to national security, and, this is key, figure out if there's any advanced technology we should know about. They collected 12,618 cases over 17 years. Their conclusion in 1969? Nothing to see here. No threat, no evidence of extraterrestrial visitation. Case closed. But here's what didn't make it into the official report. Hundreds of cases that were never explained. Credible witnesses, pilots, radar operators, military personnel, describing objects that defied physics. Those cases, they were filed under insufficient data or just ignored. If you were a military pilot during this era and you reported seeing something strange, you learned pretty quickly to regret it. You'd be pulled from flight duty, questioned, sometimes publicly mocked. Your career could be over. So most pilots stopped reporting, not because the sightings stopped, they didn't, but because the cost of speaking up was too high. That stigma lasted for decades, through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, even into the 2000s. The official stance was UFOs aren't real, and if you think you saw one, you're either mistaken or mentally unfit to fly. Then 2004 happens, the USS Nimitz incident. We'll get into the details in a minute, but for now, just know this: it was big. Multiple witnesses, radar data, video footage, and it couldn't be explained away. But nobody talked about it, not publicly, not for years. 2014, 2015, more encounters. This time with the USS Roosevelt off the East Coast. Pilots reporting near-daily sightings. Objects showing up on radar, on infrared, sometimes even visually. One pilot nearly collides with something. Describes it as a cube inside a clear sphere. Still, nothing official, no acknowledgement. That changes in 2017. The New York Times publishes a story that breaks the silence wide open. Turns out the Pentagon had been running a secret program, ATIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. It had been investigating these encounters quietly since 2007. And they had videos, 3 of them, FLIR footage from Navy fighter jets. The Pentagon tried to downplay it at first, but the footage was undeniable. By 2020, the Pentagon officially releases the videos, confirms they're real, confirms they don't know what the objects are. June 21, 2021, Congress demands answers. The Office of the General Director of National Intelligence releases a preliminary report. 9 pages. It's cautious, carefully worded, but the core message is clear. We've documented 144 encounters since 2004. We can explain exactly one of them. The rest, unknown. That word, unknown, matters, because it's not we think it's this or probably that. It's we genuinely don't know. Something shifted after that report. The stigma started to crack. Pilots could report without fear of career suicide. Official channels opened up. The conversation moved from the fringe into the mainstream. But to understand why this matters, why 2025 is being called the year of revelation, you need to see the cases, the ones that made Congress act, the ones that still don't have answers. Case 1, USS Nimitz, Tic Tac, 2004. November 14, 2004. About 100 miles southwest of San Diego, the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group is conducting training exercises. The USS Princeton, an Aegis cruiser with some of the most advanced radar systems in the world, starts picking up something weird. Multiple objects. They appear at 80,000 feet, then drop to sea level in less than 1 second. Read that again. 80,000 feet to sea level in less than 1 second. The radar operators think it's a glitch, but it keeps happening, over and over for days. On November 14th, Commander David Fravor, call sign Fast Eagle, gets scrambled to check it out. He's a Top Gun graduate, 18 years of flight experience, not someone prone to, let's say, overreaction. He and his wingman, Lieutenant Commander Alex Dietrich, head to the location. What they see confuses them. There's a disturbance in the water below. The ocean is churning, white water, like something big is just beneath the surface. And hovering above it, maybe 50 feet up, is an object. Fravor describes it as white, oblong, about 40 feet long, smooth. No wings, no windows, no exhaust, no rotor wash. It looks like a Tic Tac. As Fravor descends to get a closer look, the object starts mirroring his movements. He goes left, it goes left. He spirals down, it ascends toward him, like it's playing with him or studying him. Fravor decides to cut across and intercept. The moment he commits, the object vanishes. Not flies away fast, vanishes. No acceleration, just gone. A few seconds later, it reappears on radar, 60 miles away, at their pre-designated cap point, the location Fravor's group was supposed to go next. Think about that. It knew where they were going before they got there. Another pilot, Lieutenant Commander Chad Underwood, call sign Nuts, gets sent up with a FLIR targeting pod. He locks on to the object, records it. That's the video you can watch on YouTube now, the one the Pentagon confirmed is real. The object in that video, it's moving against the wind. Underwood later estimates it was traveling at speeds that would require hypersonic capability. No sonic boom, no heat signature consistent with propulsion. A few days later, the Nimitz group moves on. The encounters stop. The footage gets classified. Nobody talks about it for 13 years. When Fravor finally goes public in 2017, people accuse him of lying, of misidentifying a drone or a balloon. But Fravor's not alone. Dietrich backs him up. So do the radar operators. So does the FLIR footage. In 2019, the Navy confirms, yes, this happened. Yes, the video is real. No, we don't know what it was. Case 2, USS Roosevelt, GIMBAL and GOFAST, 2015. Fast forward to 2014, the USS Roosevelt, a carrier operating off the East Coast. Starting in the summer of 2014, pilots begin reporting, well, things. Daily sightings, objects showing up on radar that shouldn't be there. The Roosevelt had just upgraded to a new radar system, Raytheon APG-79, and suddenly the skies were full of contacts. At first, pilots couldn't see the objects visually, just on radar and infrared, but they were there, consistently, sometimes for hours. Lieutenant Ryan Graves later testifies to Congress about this. He describes flying almost every day and encountering these objects. Training missions became complicated. In late 2014, one pilot has a close call. He's flying and something crosses directly in front of him, close enough that he sees it clearly. Describes it as a dark cube, perfectly symmetrical, enclosed inside a clear sphere, like a 3D geometric impossibility. No collision, but close, too close. Then there's the GIMBAL video, January 2015. You heard the audio at the start of this video. The pilots lock onto an object. It's flying against 120-knot winds, strong headwinds that should slow down any aircraft. This thing doesn't seem to care. Then it does something unexpected. It rotates, not banks, not turns, rotates. The entire object spins like it's on an axis while maintaining the same trajectory. Normal aircraft can't do that. If a jet needs to turn, it banks. The whole airframe tilts. This object, it stays level and just spins. There's also something odd about the thermal signature. Infrared shows a cool halo around the object. If this thing had conventional propulsion, engines, exhaust, you'd expect heat, lots of it. Instead, cooler than the surrounding air. Then there's GOFAST, another video from the Roosevelt, March 2015. An object is tracked moving fast over the ocean, just above the water. The pilots estimate it's maybe 12 to 18 feet long, smooth, no appendages, no obvious means of propulsion. It's traveling around 220 miles per hour laterally, low to the water, just skimming the surface. Ryan Graves later tells Congress that these encounters became so routine, they started filing official safety reports. Not because they thought it was aliens, Graves is careful not to speculate, but because these objects were a flight hazard. They didn't show transponders, didn't respond to radio, didn't follow any known flight patterns. And nobody could figure out what they were. Case 3. Malmstrom Air Force Base, 1967. Okay, let's go back further. March 16, 1967, Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana. This is a nuclear missile base, underground silos containing Minuteman III ICBMs. These are the weapons designed to end the world if the Cold War ever goes hot. Lieutenant Robert Salas is on duty that morning, 60 feet underground in the Echo Flight Launch Control Center. He's one of 2 officers responsible for monitoring 10 nuclear missiles. Around 8:30 a.m., he gets a call from topside security. The guard sounds off, nervous. He reports strange lights in the sky, multiple objects, moving erratically, not like planes, silent. Salas tells him to keep an eye on it and report back. He's not too worried. Probably something mundane, flares maybe, or aircraft from a nearby base. A few minutes later, the guard calls back. This time, he's clearly scared. Says there's an object hovering directly over the front gate, glowing red, oval-shaped, maybe 40 feet across, just sitting there, maybe 30 feet off the ground. Before Salas can respond, alarms start going off, red lights on the control panel. The missiles, all 10 of them, are going offline, one after another, in rapid succession. This isn't supposed to happen. These systems are redundant, hardened against electromagnetic interference, designed to survive a nuclear strike, and they're all failing simultaneously. Within seconds, all 10 missiles at Echo Flight are completely offline. No strategic alert capability, no launch capability. Dead. Salas reports it up the chain. The Air Force sends investigators. They run diagnostics, check every system, interview everyone on duty. Their conclusion? Unable to determine a logical cause. Here's the thing though, Echo Flight wasn't alone. A week earlier, March 24th, the exact same thing happened at Oscar Flight. Another set of missiles, another base, same circumstances. UFO sighted, missiles go offline. Over the next 18 months, similar incidents are reported at multiple sites, not just Malmstrom, other bases too. In some cases, security teams report that massive steel blast doors, these things weigh 20 tons, were somehow moved or displaced. No equipment on site could do that. No explanation was ever given. Robert Salas doesn't talk about it publicly for decades. When he finally does, people accuse him of fabricating the story. But he's not the only witness. Other officers from Oscar Flight and Echo Flight corroborate it. Declassified documents from the Air Force acknowledge the incidents, though they're vague about details. The official stance: equipment malfunction, coincidence. But 10 missiles failing simultaneously, right as an unknown object appears overhead? That's a hell of a coincidence. And here's what makes it unsettling. These weren't just any missiles. These were nuclear weapons, the most secure, most protected systems in the US military arsenal. And something, whatever it was, interfered with them effortlessly. Part 3. The 2025 Revelation. So what changed? After that 2021 report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, things started moving. Slowly at first, then faster. The Pentagon creates a new office, ARO, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. Sounds bureaucratic, because it is, but the mandate is clear. Investigate UAP sightings, figure out what's going on, and report findings to Congress. Not dismiss them, not ignore them, actually investigate. By 2023, ARO has logged over 500 reports since 2004. Some are explainable: drones, balloons, sensor errors, but a significant number still unknown. Then the congressional hearings start. July 2023, David Fravor testifies under oath, describes the Tic Tac encounter in detail, answers questions from both parties, doesn't speculate about aliens, but makes it clear what he saw defied the laws of known physics. Ryan Graves testifies too, talks about the Roosevelt incidents, about the safety risks, about how pilots were encountering these objects routinely and had no idea what they were. David Grush, a former intelligence officer, drops a bomb, claims the U.S. has recovered non-human craft and has been reverse engineering them in secret programs. Congress takes his claims serious enough to launch investigations. November 2024, another hearing, this time with Luis Elizondo, the former head of AATIP. He's careful, measured, but he confirms the program found things that couldn't be explained. objects demonstrating technology far beyond anything in the U.S. inventory. Retired Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet testifies, describes a 2015 incident, a near collision between a Navy aircraft and an unknown object, says the official video of the incident was sent to him and other officers, then mysteriously disappeared from email servers the next day. Michael Schellenberger, an investigative journalist, presents documents suggesting the existence of a program called Immaculate Constellation, allegedly a compartmentalized effort to collect UAP data and keep it hidden from Congress. These aren't fringe conspiracy theorists. These are credible, high-ranking officials and investigators, and they're testifying under oath. Congress doesn't just hold hearings, they act. The UAP Transparency Act, H.R. 1187, gets introduced. It's straightforward, mandates the President order all federal agencies to declassify UAP-related documents within 270 days. Not consider declassifying, not review for potential release, actually declassify and release. The UAP Disclosure Act of 2025 goes even further. Proposed as an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act, it includes provisions to create a UAP records collection at the National Archives, similar to what was done with JFK assassination files. It also establishes an independent review board to oversee declassification and sets a 25-year deadline for public disclosure of all UAP records. Exceptions only for cases that genuinely threaten national security. There's also a push for whistleblower protections. People who come forward with information about UAP programs, even classified ones, would be shielded from retaliation. The goal is to encourage more insiders to speak up. The NDAA for 2024 already ordered the National Archives to establish the UAP records collection by October 2024. That's not a proposal, that's law. So where does that leave us? As of early 2025, we're in a transition period. Documents are being reviewed. Some have already been released, though heavily redacted. More are coming. For the first time in decades, there's genuine transparency, or at least the framework for it. Let's be clear about what we know and what we don't. We know the U.S. military has encountered objects that exhibit capabilities far beyond current human technology. Hypersonic speeds without sonic booms, instantaneous acceleration, no visible means of propulsion. These aren't fringe claims, they're documented in official reports, backed by radar data and video footage. We know these encounters have been happening for decades. Maelstrom in 1967, Nimitz in 2004, Roosevelt in 2015, and countless others that haven't been made public. We know the U.S. government took these encounters seriously enough to create classified programs to study them. ATIP wasn't a PR stunt, it was a real program with real funding and real findings. What we don't know, what these objects are, where they come from, who or what is controlling them. Are they foreign adversaries with breakthrough technology? Possible, but unlikely. China and Russia don't have tech this advanced, and if they did, they wouldn't waste it on U.S. military assets. They'd use it strategically. Are they some secret U.S. program? Also possible. But if so, why would the Pentagon be publicly admitting they don't know what these things are? Why would they brief Congress and say, we can't explain this? That leaves, well, other possibilities. Possibilities that used to get you laughed out of the room. In 2025, those possibilities are being discussed in congressional hearings, by admirals, by intelligence officers, by scientists. That's what changed. Not that these objects suddenly appeared. They've been here all along. What changed is that we're finally allowed to talk about it, openly, without stigma, without career-ending consequences. The conversation has shifted from, do these things exist, to what are they and what do we do about it? In 2004, Commander David Fravor encountered something that defied explanation. An object that moved in ways that shouldn't be possible, that seemed to anticipate his actions, that vanished and reappeared 60 miles away in under a minute. In 2015, Navy pilots off the East Coast encountered objects almost daily. Objects that rotated while flying straight, that flew against hurricane-force winds like the air didn't exist, that came close enough to nearly cause collisions. In 1967, something hovered over a nuclear missile base in Montana and shut down 10 ICBMs simultaneously. No explanation was ever given. For decades, these incidents were buried, classified, dismissed. Anyone who spoke about them was ridiculed. In 2025, the US government is finally saying what pilots and witnesses have known for years. There's something in our skies, something we don't understand, something that challenges everything we think we know about physics, technology, and maybe even reality itself. And for the first time, we're starting to get answers, or at least we're finally asking the right questions. All sources, documents, and official reports are linked in the description below. See for yourself, decide for yourself, because whatever this is, it's real, and it's not going away.